This video is sponsored by Loot Crate.
So I definitely didn't like this second arc as much as I did the first arc, but it's still pretty okay. Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Talk. Today let's discuss Kanan. It's officially over. Marvel is discontinuing Kanan, unfortunately. Well, maybe not so unfortunately. I'll get into that now. I know that this book is mostly about Kanan, or it's supposed to be just about Kanan, but it just brought up the aspects of Deepa Balaba, and there were some things I didn't like so much about it. I talk about it in depth in my first review of Kanan number 7, which is the first comic of this arc, which is called First Blood. But every time Mace Windu and Deepa Balaba, they showed up in the same scene and they never interacted with each other, it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And we know that in canon, in the source books, I believe it's the Ultimate Star Wars Guide, says that Deepa Balaba's master was Mace Windu. So like, even with that in mind, even if I'm not thinking about Shatterpoint and the previous expanded universe and all that stuff, even with that in mind, they should have some sort of relationship, or they should indicate some sort of previous master apprentice relationship, but they just kind of referred to each other as if they never really interacted with each other, and I didn't like that. But that's just really a nitpick. We do get a cool relationship between Deepa and Kanan. We actually get the prequel to their prequel, which is we see how they actually became a master apprentice duo. There was an attack on the Jedi Temple, and Kanan proved himself, and they also figured that they can learn something from each other. Which again, I'm gonna go back into the EU. I think that it would have been really nice if they kept that. I've reiterated this before in my previous reviews, but I think it would have been better if Deepa's rehabilitation happened with Caleb. Kind of what's happening now within this new storyline is that Deepa and Kanan both have something to prove to the Jedi Order. Kanan wants to prove that he is a worthy Jedi Padawan, Jedi apprentice, that he can be part of the Clone Wars. Deepa's trying to prove that she's not a screw-up, because the new storyline now is that it still happened, like her coma and stuff like that still happened, and it happened on Horancal, which is Mace Windu's home planet. But instead of it happening by way of Carvaster and like the forest, it's more about General Grievous basically killing all of her troops and her sucking as a general. So for that storyline, it's cool. Like, they both have something to prove, right? And they both can learn something from each other, and that dynamic is cool. And I do kind of like the stepping stones that they take throughout this arc. Kanan has to deal with the war for the first time and dealing with his first kill of a real person. Deepa has to face her past and all that, and they're all doing that together. So that portion of the arc was fine for me. There was even a cool little there were some crossovers. There was a crossover between Finn Ra, the new Mandalore, and the Rebels TV series, which was cool because when that episode came out, this comic book came out as well. So that was a cool little crossover. There also was a crossover with Rey Sloan, who is the Imperial officer from A New Dawn, and she's also in Aftermath. So she's become the most prevalent new expanded universe, new canon character throughout the secondary lore, as I like to call it. She also reminds me a lot of Sienna from Lost Stars. You can look at my Lost Star review somewhere on my channel. But those two characters remind me of each other. Like, they're both like, you know, strong female characters who are completely dedicated to the Empire. So those are cool crossovers. As always, I love the art of this comic book series. It's one of the better drawn Marvel comics for Star Wars right now. It wasn't as good as the first arc. Like, there weren't panels that jumped out to me and I was like, yeah, like that is an amazing panel, but it was still very, very solid. The epilogue does have a different artist though. It's not bad, it's just a different style. Not a style that I prefer, but it's not bad at all. It's still, you know, pretty good. But in terms of the writing and just the storyline itself, I can't say that this series is my favorite anymore. It used to be my favorite. I used to always be really stoked about reading the Kanan series. The first arc gave me a lot of appreciation for Kanan, and that's probably why Marvel is stopping it, because maybe that first arc was so well defined and that is what it was supposed to be, and they were like, oh, people like it, so let's do more. And then like the second arc wasn't as well developed or as well written or anything like that. Not to say that it's bad, it definitely was not bad, but it just wasn't to my preference, and it wasn't as good as the first arc. If you like the first arc, you'll definitely like the second arc, I think. But for me, I definitely didn't enjoy it as much as the first arc. So that's it. I think that's pretty much covers my review of this comic. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, peace, love, and may the force be with you. Always.
What I've seen in a lot of debates is that people, including myself, either lowball Mace or lowball Sidious to achieve their point.
Throw a grenade at him. Alright, not critical strike. Oh, I killed him. Oh no, I didn't mean to throw two. Oh, that's such a waste. Such a waste.